Now let's talk about public procurement, which is the process of sourcing, bidding and purchasing goods and services that a country such as Nigeria needs to operate. But as we all know, procurement is particularly vulnerable in Nigeria to corruption and inefficiency. So in a move to strengthen this country's procurement capacity, Ben Farrell, the CEO of the UK-based Chartered Institute for Procurement and Supply, or CIPS, is visiting Nigeria to lead a high-level engagement aimed at advancing procurement excellence and ethical practices. The highlight of Mr. Farrell's visit is the CIPS Nigeria Symposium, which has been taking place this week.
And this meeting, the symposium, has given us a chance to get together with the Bureau of Public Procurement, the DG, and a number of other senior officials to start making plans together of how this will work. And today we're announcing our intention to open an office here to support this drive for prosperity in Nigeria.
This symposium organized has brought in experts who would share with us the global trends, who will share with us how other countries have been doing it, so that from there we can learn and then domesticate the lessons learned by ensuring that the Nigerian businesses become globally competitive.
Well, for more on this, I'm joined now from our studios in Lagos by the CEO of the UK-based Chartered Institute for Procurement and Supply, or CIPS, Ben Farrell. And Mr. Farrell, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Just tell us more about your visit to Nigeria, what you've been doing here.
Good evening. Thanks so much. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. I've had an amazing welcome. We started in Abuja, where we met with some of the public procurement team, the DG of the Bureau of Public Procurement. Particularly, we signed an MOU to work in the advancement of procurement and supply across Nigeria in the coming years. And obviously I was able to announce our intention to open an office here. We've been here in Nigeria for some considerable time. We have many fellows of CIPS here who've been working tirelessly. But given the moment in time when global supply chains are so connected, and we've just been hearing in your report about the tariffs, it's about time that we were here on a permanent basis in Nigeria, you sort of leading African nation. And our intention really is to come here, establish a permanent presence, work for the prosperity of Nigeria with the public and private sector. So yesterday we were able to meet with not only the DG of the Bureau of Public Procurement, but we met with the Health Minister, the Secretary of the Government of the Federation of Nigeria, the Chief of Defence Staff, and a number of others, and all established a collective ambition to work together to improve the efficiency of the procurement processes in Nigeria in pursuit of prosperity.
And I do recall briefly seeing you at I think the Hilton Hotel in Abuja. You had a sort of scrum of photographers swirling around you when I did see you. So obviously your visit has sort of been hitting the headlines here. But I mean, to the crux of the matter, which is of course procurement in Nigeria, how do you evaluate public procurement in this country?
Thanks. Yeah, it's brilliant to come here. To be honest, the reception has been amazing. The photographers, to some extent, were perhaps a reflection of I'm the first chief executive of CIPS to come to Nigeria, which I think is a reflection of just how important Nigeria is to the future of the world. I've been doing a lot of work on the procurement or the trends of the future to understand what that means. I've been looking with some futurists out to 2050, and you may well know this, but it's estimated that 1 in 10 people on the planet will be born in Nigeria. So you think about the food, water, energy implications of that sort of statistic, and we need to get really, really good at this to do this in a cost-effective and efficient way. There are estimated to be 9.7 billion people on the planet, up from 8 billion today. So the pressure on supply chains, the pressure on resources generally, and the pressure to do the provision of all those things effectively is only going to grow. And so the importance of the profession of procurement and supply is growing, and we can see that all around the world. And this is a moment in time where I'm saying the stars have aligned for this profession to really thrive. So it was important to come here to make this case, which is not something you have to do strenuously, because absolutely everybody's in agreement with this. And I think the interest is a reflection of that. And here we are in Lagos today. We've had a similar sort of level of enthusiasm to have spent some time with the governor of the state of Lagos and his team. Absolutely first-class reception and conversation and recognition of their ambition here for the future as well. So, it's a really meaningful time for both, I think, Nigeria and also CIPS.
Indeed. So what's the best way, just sort of focusing on the knob of the issue, what's the best way to avoid a sort of high-risk procurement strategy, briefly?
I think the honest answer is we have a set of global standards. My recommendation and encouragement and enthusiasm is to, rather like being a lawyer or a doctor or an accountant, is mandate professional standards, ethical standards that go with that. We have a professional register, and for those who sort of contravene the professional standards, they will be struck off the register, and that would mean they would not be able to practice. So I think we need to collectively get behind the notion I was describing, the growing importance of the profession, and mandate proficiency and competency in that profession.
And without putting you on the spot, do you agree with those who say that public procurement in Nigeria faces significant challenges, including things like corruption, lack of transparency, inefficiency, lack of skilled professionals, etc.?
Everything I've heard so far indicates that as the collective view, not of me, but of all those I've spoken to. There is a opportunity to really drive the professionalism, the competence, the capacity, capability now, and it's absolutely opportune moment to do so, to allow Nigeria to thrive. And so all the things we're talking about are designed to combat the things that you've just described there, Charles.
And it is your sense, having met a whole slew of top Nigerian government officials, that there is the political will to sort of come on board?
Totally. There's no question from what I've heard. It's a level of enthusiasm. I've had the opportunity to travel extensively this year to many, many nations across the globe, and the level of collective sense of purpose for the prosperity of Nigeria and to root out corruption and inefficiency to drive real value is enormous. With the health minister yesterday, he was talking to me about only having $14 per Nigerian to spend on health. And if we get better at this collectively, there'll be simply more to spend, and it'll be more effective. We've got a team working already in 8 states around Nigeria on a program called Health Procurement Africa, and under a man called Chukwudi Uche. And they are improving procurement processes, teaching others to do it better. And already the availability of drugs have improved. I was really interested in your sickle cell report earlier. This is exactly the type of thing they're doing, providing better drugs at the point of need at a lower cost. We can see that's effective already through the CIPS team. And to do that across many sectors offers a real upside.
And just tell us a bit about the Chartered Institute for Procurement and Supply, or CIPS. You're based in the UK and you're a sort of independent spending watchdog, are you?
Well, we've existed since 1932 as an organisation that came into existence on the back of the Smoot-Hawley Act, which actually serendipitously introduced tariffs on products imported to the USA at the time, particularly steel. And rather ironic, nearly 100 years later, we're having the same conversation about that and the impact of that. So Subsequent to that act, a number of businessmen got together and decided that what they really needed to do to understand how they can be most effective in the commodities markets and how we move and price commodities collectively to everybody's advantage. So CIPS was formed. It's both a qualifying body, i.e. we qualify people as members of the Chartered Institute of Procurement and Supply, rather like up to degree level, real levels of competence. We offer advisory services for private and public sector organisations to become more and more proficient. We've done an awful lot in the Middle East around developing nations, particularly around Saudi Arabia, for example, helping large public sector organisations become better and better at what they're doing over there. And we have members in 180 countries. We have 10 offices around the world and 95 volunteer branches. And I have to say, the volunteer branch in Nigeria is amazing. We've met so many of them at the symposium we had in Abuja. We've got another symposium in Lagos, actually on Friday, talking about the role Lagos plays in trading in West Africa as a whole. So there's real energy here, and CIPS is very much part of delivering and developing capability, capacity individually, and also in the private and public sector, large organisations.
Well, I hope what you're doing in Nigeria is well received by the people who are in charge here, because it sounds like what you're doing here, or what you intend to do, is very important and would be very helpful to this country. I want to thank you very much indeed for joining us. Ben Farrell is the CEO of the UK-based Chartered Institute for Procurement and Supply, also known as CIPS. Thank you very much indeed.